Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome to the stream. I know it's been a couple weeks, kinda, since we got this thing going. Back in the studio, well, the office, whatever you really want to call it. After VidCon, I had no voice. If you saw my videos, you know how bad it was. Then I had people in town. It was a holiday, and then I got a cold. My voice is now coming back, little bit by little bit. Yeah, make sure that's on. And my allergies are kicking in. It's just been a hell of a week, but I'm back now. I'm back from outer space. So what's going on, Derek? What is up, Jukebox? What's going on? I'm just a guy. Ivar, I don't know yet. So let me tell you guys what is gonna happen. Dr. Pug Jr., damn straight. This is my job. I love what I do, and if people want to support it, I'm gonna let them know where. That's just the truth of it, man. So here's what's gonna go on. Well, we'll wait a couple minutes real quick. Because we'll wait a couple minutes before I jump into this thing. I'm just gonna send out some quick tweets about it, and that way let people know that we are live, because I feel that we need more of that. Anyway, so what's up with you guys? Hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's Sunday. God, it doesn't even feel like Sunday anymore. Like in a week, I take off and I'm heading up to what's it called? San Diego. That's south. Leaving a little over a week to fly back down. For Comic-Con. It's gonna be fun. They just released the new Hall H lineup. I gotta go look at that. And then I've also got to get back into doing the $3 theater content, which is just at this point. So yeah, speak times. 1 second here. Let me just put this up on the Twits and on the Facebooks. All right. Let's do that. Okay. So, now that we're back on that, let me just bring this back up to what I need it to be. Again, I'm still trying to figure some things out, so if it's a little bit messy, I do apologize. This is kind of a work in progress. So if you're wondering why it's called the MundaneMatt Show, well, the MundaneMatt Show is something I've been toying with for a long time. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, in terms of doing more live content with you guys, as well as making my workload a wee bit easier, right? A wee bit easier. And it's not the easiest thing on the fucking planet to do 6 videos a day and then do a live stream. So I'm like, how do I make that a bit easier? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my videos live. My content for tomorrow is going to be live to you guys right now. And then when the stream's done, I will take the stream, I will chop out the relevant bits, and then tomorrow at noon, 1 and 2, the videos will go live. So those of you who've seen this, you already know it's coming, but for other people, they didn't get to. And then we're going to do a Q&A. In between, we'll talk about the articles, so then you guys can chime in your thoughts, and I can chime in some extra thoughts, and we can go from there. And I feel like this is probably one of the best ways to go with this. Now, this is a test. This is kind of a pilot, so to speak. And I feel like it's going to work out. One of the reasons why I want to do this too is because when it comes to YouTube right now, like, I'll be perfectly bluntly honest with you. We are in an adpocalypse 2.0, and it has nothing to do with the Wall Street Journal. It has everything to do with a British company that is like the world's largest provider of ads, that suffered a ransomware attack on the 28th of last month. And as a result, June 1st, everything that was kind of going like this just dove straight down, kamikazed itself. And it's as a result of this ransomware attack on this huge company. I mean, I'm not even lying. Like, I'm getting more views now per day than ever before. Oh, fuck. It is just like, holy shit, this bad. So essentially, what I want you guys to do is, if you guys are going to pop out any super chat for questions, for stuff, hold on for that for a bit. Or if you want to post it, I will get to it later. we're definitely going to be trying this thing out to see how it plays, because it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. So so there's going to be a lot of that. I did see a comment about my dad vlog, the mundane dad. That's up. Yeah, that's going to be again. I have stuff. I got to read a book. My girlfriend got me the What to Expect, or not my girlfriend. My mom got my girlfriend and I that What to Expect When You're Expecting. I haven't even cracked the spine yet on it, and she's 17 weeks, so I gotta do that. So yeah, that's another thing with it too. For those that are a little bit unsure about this particular process, the reason why I want to do it like this is because I'm not going to have that time. It's going to require me to pick and choose. I either do my content in the day, and then I don't do live streams, or I can kind of do them both. And not every day is going to be like this. You know, I'll still do days with this other content, but with the kid coming, with everything as it is, I have to simplify everything so I can do it all. So yeah, that's going to be where things are at right now. And hopefully in the process of it all, we'll be doing pretty good. So, all right, we got 126 people in here right now. Let me just make sure that, everything is looking good here. All right. I wanted to give it a couple minutes to let people come on in to get the update. And hopefully this will do well. Again, it's totally a test. It could fail. And then we'll go from there. Let's okay. What to expect when you're defecating? Turd babies, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's jump into this here. Let me just double check everything. Yeah, Gruntley, the streams will be archived. Unlisted but archived. So it's meant to be more of just like a thing we can do. So there is that. Yeah, all right. I do see some people asking about Warski Live. I've been on there. I'm friends with the Warskis, good guys. All right. Again, hold on questions for a little bit. We will get to that. I do promise you guys. Let's jump into this first one here. This first one, let me just bring this up, is, all right. So this first one is an article. So this first one is an article that I came across today. I saw this. I haven't read it yet. We're going to go through this together. But holy crap. Just that presumptuous ass headline. We're losing a whole generation of young men to video games. Really? Is it really that bad? Right? We're not losing a generation of young men to video games. And this is kind of funny too, because what they're essentially trying to say is that men are the predominant, players of games, right? You know that, because that's probably going to be in here somewhere. Keep in mind, you got people like Brianna Wu that are like 40, now they're trying to claim that with mobile games, like it's like 52% women of all gamers are women. And you're going like, but see, this is going to demonize gamers, right? This article written by Kyle Smith is one of those ones that's like going to lead to a whole slew of this kind of shit. And this isn't the first one, by the way. There was other studies that came out, I think, the other day, but this one in the New York Post caught my eye. So, a picture of a kid here playing a Game Boy at a stand. That's an old thing, shit. All right, so we're gonna just jump into this here because this will be a fun one. One night in the mid 1980s, I tried out a computer game called Civilization. You started with a screen that was completely black except for one square of land. As you pushed outward from the space, you'd make discoveries about the land around you and its inhabitants. You start to build a society, first primitive stuff like granaries, then advancing to roads and weapons. Trade-offs would arise. Should I build a library or a cannon? As your world advanced, you'd run into other civilizations. It was disconcerting to discover somebody else had a battleship while you were working with catapults. As I journeyed through these fascinating challenges, I discovered to my surprise that the sun had come up. Something had gone haywire with time. It was already 7 a.m. Yeah, many people out there have had nights like this. I myself have jumped in when Halo 3 launched. I played that thing till the crack of dawn, from midnight to the crack of dawn, passed out for like 3 hours, woke up and played it again for a solid, like, I think 14 hours, somewhere 12 to 14 hours. It was insane. Okay, this is not an uncommon thing here. This is not an uncommon action. A lot of people out there play video games and they lose themselves in it. And sometimes you want to lose yourself in it because it's just fun to do. There's nothing wrong with letting your mind escape, right? The same action that could be put into playing a video game could be argued for I don't know, binge watching a TV series or reading a fucking book. People get into shit and then they don't want to get out. And sometimes there's nothing wrong. Now, this guy goes on to say here, if you had asked me at any point in my relationship to civilization whether I was happy, I would have said no. I was ecstatic. I was euphoric, making simulated granaries, building simulated roads, firing simulated cannons. These were my obsessions. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that whatsoever, right? It isn't. You are enjoying playing a game. You are enjoying playing this scenario. There's nothing wrong with that, provided the rest of your life didn't crumble to civilization. And not to say that in some respects, like, you know, MMORPGs haven't kind of led to that with some people. You're fine. So again, the start off of this is, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to start this article off by saying, like, I was so obsessed with this game, it destroyed my life. But let's be fair. You write for the fucking New York Post. It probably didn't. Now he goes on to say, after a while, I realized becoming a master of the fake world was not worth the dozens of hours a month it was costing me. And with profound regret, I stashed my floppy disk of Civilization in a box and pushed it deep in my closet. I hope I never get addicted to anything like Civilization ever again. Okay, let's translate that. Mommy got mad at you for playing too much, so she made you put it away and told you you're becoming addicted to it. And therefore you're like, I gotta stop. I can't do this anymore. I just can't fucking do this. It's not good. That's a load of shit. I think you fucking know it. Today, millions of people, disproportionately young men, are similarly caught in the throes of video games, which are far more enticing than their 1990s counterparts and often involve many players engaging at once. The hand-eye coordination of these men is no doubt impressive, plus they form friendships and learn to work through problems in teams. Okay, so if Kyle here, and he's going to do what I think he's going to do, but if this is funny, because for one, playing a video game now is no more addictive than it was back in the 1990s. It's all stimulation. All right, you find that fun 10 seconds and you repeat it. Or fun 30 seconds and you repeat it. That's what Bungie used to say. Games like Civilization back on the PC back in the day, or games like Syndicate, or shit, if you want to go back like to you know, older MMOs like Asheron's Call, or anything like that, there are games in every genre and every type of console or PC or whatever that can be that level of addicting. You ever seen Madden players? They're nuts, but they love what they love. Now but I love it though too. It's like, oh, but their hand-eye coordination is fantastic. They form friendships, therefore they bond, and they problem solve. But apparently the problem is coming. Oh, the scourge of gaming is coming. Surveys tell us that these men are happy. The 1990s fear that playing first-person shooter games turned into a violent psycho has been debunked. Yeah, which basically can tell you that the rest of what you're going to say here can also equally be as debunked. If games don't make you violent shooters or violent psychopaths, they don't make you fucking misogynists, and they don't cause whatever fuck else you're going to say here. I'm just putting that out there right now. It says here, the problem is that for many young men, video games have become a substitute for living. They're so addicted and soul-consuming that they're unlike other leisure activities. Every hour spent on Ghost Recon or Grand Theft Auto 5 is an hour that could have been spent more productively. Okay, fuck you, Kyle Smith of the New York Post. How dare you? How dare you, motherfucker, tell me what is or is not productive? I'm speaking only from my own goddamn experience here. I run a multitude of YouTube channels. I work 7 days a week at my job. I've been able to afford a house, afford a car, afford decent vacations every once in a while, trips to conventions I want to go to, things that I like to do. I can afford because of this job. And I play video games. as a way to relax, as a way to unwind, as a way to connect with my friends, because I'm always working towards my end goal. I'm always being productive in my own job. So I want a little bit of me time. And you're telling me, well, it's an hour that could have been spent being more productive. Eat a dick. Sure, that's also true of golf, but rarely do you hear someone has quit their job and is living in mom's basement obsessing over putting. Yeah, but you're more likely to hear that somebody quit their job and is playing video games and making a fucking living at it. See, what this tells me right here, just that one statement right there, is that this motherfucker is jelly as shit over PewDiePie. No, I'm serious. Like, this guy right here is jealous as hell over PewDiePie. And the reason why he's jealous as hell over PewDiePie is because that comment right there. Oh, living in his mother's basement making money on the video games. Fuck you. Jesus Christ, eat a dick. Just eat a fat fucking New York cock, you asshole. Like, this is jealousy. This is Wall Street Journal all over again right here. Demonizing not just YouTubers, but gamers, right? It's the gamers are dead shit we saw from nearly 3 years ago, and it didn't end well from any of those chuckle fucks involved, and it won't end well here, right? Video games have become a substitute for living. No, they've become a substantial living for some. They have become a way for those who are able to make it their full-time job, to enable them to travel the world, to go to different studios and visit with developers and interview them about their games. They get to go to conventions and meet their fans around the world. For a growing number of these people, they have been able to turn it into a career, right? Those who can't teach, and those who can't play video games for a living bitch about it on the New York fucking Post. Seriously. Yet video game addicts are engaged in a mass retreat from life. Men aged 21 to 30 worked 12% fewer hours in 2015 than 2000. Okay, let's just look. I don't have the exact statistics for this, but let's break that down. From 2000 to 2015, how many jobs have been moved overseas, right? How many jobs have become automated? How many times have we seen that men in that age range don't have a viable career choice that was once viable to them pre-2000, right? Why are we seeing 2 out of every 3 college graduates and even college students in some cases are women? Women are entering in the workforce in a massive move, which is not bad at all. And men are having, in some respects, harder time finding positions to fill. And so when they're told by the feminist media, by the left-leaning media, that they're worthless, they're shitty, they're subhuman pieces of garbage, they turn to something that might, I don't know, make them not feel like pieces of shit. That they're always told they're pieces of shit. And that would be maybe something like video games. In which case, a few of them have been able to sit there and turn it into a viable career. That's what we're seeing here, Kyle. There is a paradigm shift in our society, and you're sitting there trying to blame video games for the downfall of young men, similar to how parents blamed rock music for their children engaged in activities they didn't approve of, for their teenagers engaged in, like, you know, pelvis pumping. That's what I'm getting to here. That's got it, because that guy's full of shit. The percent of young men who worked 0 weeks over the course of a year doubled in that period to an alarming 15%. Those working hours were largely replaced by gaming. A full 35% of young men now live with their parents or close relatives, up 23% from 2000. Their unemployment rate jumped by 10%. And all that goes back to what I said. The jobs aren't there. It's not that they're entitled. It's not that they're lazy. The jobs aren't there. We're finding more in terms of administrative work that's being filled right now in the job landscape. Right? We're seeing more of that, but we're not seeing a lot of industry trade jobs, because those have gone the fuck overseas, right? If we started reinvesting in our infrastructure, like someone who is, I'm not going to say his name, but currently lives 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, says he wanted to do, and not build a fucking wall, then maybe there might be a way for jobs to come back, right? Stop giving tax credits to companies that are able to find the loophole Bain Capital to outsource jobs overseas. That's a way to do it. When you have a working class of people that have nothing to do, they're going to do something to fucking fill the void. And it just so happens that video games have a cheap buy-in and they provide a lot of, well, distraction from their already shitty life. What I love about this is Kyle is trying to demonize men. He's trying to demonize young men who play video games. You're the scourge on the world. You're just you suckle at the teat of your family. There's no fucking work, you fucking dick. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm on a tirade on that one. A huge proportion of young men are simply dropping out of the workforce. God, there's no fucking workforce. That's the problem, you piece of shit. And becoming PlayStation's willing... Oh my fucking God. The numbers are in the National Bureau of Economic Research study and in an essay by economist Eric Hurst of the Booth School of Economics at the University of Chicago. Should we dismiss all of this if these men say they're happy? Heroin addicts are happy too, as long as they're high. But what long-term effects do they face? Consider what future holds for men whose 20s get sucked away in the maw of Xbox. The 20s are when we pick and begin to master a career. Okay. No, I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's a fair argument to be made there. I spent a lot of time in my 20s playing video games. I also managed a movie theater. I put myself through film school. I moved to Hollywood. And then I didn't start my channel until I was 30. Now I'm 35. I own a home and I run a successful small business. Fuck you for trying to diminish the time I spent having fun with my friends when I was in my 20s. Kyle, are you one of those types that's like, if you're not out there, you know, like just pounding gash every weekend, you're not getting the most out of life, right? Never mind the fact that, like, I'm just using me as an example. Every year I went to Comic-Con for free. I go to E3 for free. I travel around, go to conventions I want to go to, see things I want to go see, enjoy my time with my friends. And a lot of it did revolve around movies and video games because it's something I'm passionate about. And here, clearly you work for the New York Post, writing this kind of garbage. I work from home. I'm in my underwear right now. It's fantastic. I love it. So no, don't tell me that I wasted my time doing something. Don't tell me none of that shit. Because you don't fucking know. You might have gotten addicted to civilization when you were in the fucking 90s. Maybe. But you're using it now as a crutch. A crutch to back up your pointless, baseless bullshit claims that we're losing a generation of young men to video games, but not shining a spotlight on the problem of there literally not being jobs in that regard. You're not talking about a solution to the problem. You're trying to scapegoat an entertainment medium because you probably hate what you do. That's okay. Maybe one day you'll start a YouTube channel and eventually work for yourself. You might like it. Sorry, it's really pissing me off. Okay. If these men intended to start their lives at 30, they're going to find themselves at a huge disadvantage. They're not. They're going to be sullen when told to start at the bottom when their peers they knew in school are already in management positions. Again, that's not going to happen. I'm sure in some cases it might. Fine, let's be fair. In some cases it might. But for the most part, it is not going to happen. And the reason why is because people can adapt. People can change. You assume that people spend all their time playing video games and they do nothing else. They have no drive. They have no ambition. And that is not video games' fault. That is a societal fault. One of the things I'm going to do, because I'm about to be a dad, is I'm going to teach my kid as young as they can be to always want to follow their dreams and to follow through on those dreams. Because I have stumbled and I have fallen in a multitude of ways, but I've always kept going. But I've still always been able to rely on my Xbox, my Nintendo, my PlayStation, my PC, my phone, my Game Boy, my DS, my 3DS, my PlayStation Portable, my PlayStation Vita, to get me through times when I'm just needing that escape. Because when you start looking at the weight of the world and the way that someone like Kyle here is pushing it, it really does fuck with you. And when that happens, you don't want to continue going on because Kyle isn't encouraging you to go on. He's not telling you to follow your bliss, but at the same time, have me time. He's telling you to be shamed and guilted by your preferred hobby. if Kyle had his way, we'd all masturbate in fucking secrecy and just never talk about it. Well, I mean, to be fair, we probably should do that anyway. But the point I'm trying to get here is that he's a dick. Kyle's a dick. That pisses me off. Sorry. Okay. Maybe they'll turn down work and pick up the gaming remote. Maybe they'll drift towards their 40s without ever really launching. Women usually don't go for men who are less successful than they are. So gaming is going to cause a surge of dissatisfaction amongst both members of both sexes. Unemployed or underemployed, men residing at Casa de la Mama, whose major life skill involves pretending shoot-em-ups, are not going to impress many ladies. Accomplished women are going to discover the competition for male peers even tougher than it is today, when there are about 3 women for every 2 men enrolled in college. Again, I brought that up earlier, right? You have almost 2/3, you have a larger percentage of women than men in college. Now, what men should be doing is looking into trades and following the careers that way, because that's where they might have better luck. But at the same time, the society we find ourselves in terms of jobs and marketability and all that jazz, very much treats us like we're, like there's not much there, as I'm trying to say, and that's what fucks with you. Happiness is not to be confused with the fleeting pleasures delivered by artificial drug-like stimulants. Genuine life satisfaction is closely linked to the feelings of productivity we derive from doing jobs well and to the security of enduring close relationships, especially, oh my God. Is this a Christian magazine? Is especially marriage? Kyle, we have like a 52% divorce rate in this country. I'm in a long-term 8.5-year relationship with my girlfriend. We just bought a home. We're just having a kid. We were feeling it out for a while. We're good. Marriage is not in my worldview right now. And that's not to say that I'm trying to diminish my relationship with my woman. It's not that at all. It's why Face was not broken, really. But Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. You fucking asshole. Especially marriage. Fuck you. Gamer zombie. Jesus fuck me Christ. Gamer zombies risk losing touch with both the world of work and with potential for real human relationships. The parents and friends of these young men are doing them no favors by thinking, I never see him anymore, but he seems happy. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure your family thinks that because you're such a self-serving, pompous asshole. There are relationships I have forged through gaming that have gotten me through some of like the worst times in my life. They have gotten me through moments when I just needed someone to talk to and they were there. And you can have intimacy in a friendship without there being the physical person that is there. That is obtainable. But your puritanical belief structure about what constitutes relationships, and especially marriage, in order to make a person happy? Please take a long walk off a short pier, you simple-minded fuck. This is ridiculous propagandist bullshit. And I'm fucking angry. I'm angry at this shit because it's so goddamn stupid. All right. Had to stop recording on that one there. Let's jump back over to this. Okay, so let's talk about this for a few minutes. Let's talk about this. How nuts was that shit? Fuck me. How bad was that? How fucking horrible was that? Oh, you gotta get married in order to be happy. Tell that to a MGTOW. They know what's up. Kyle must love Anita. I completely agree. He is a cuck. Completely agree. So I might need to use a 15-minute timer for my streamed commentary. William, I'm still working on it, man. This is all work in fucking progress. So shit could change, shit could totally change going forward. Oh my God. That is just insane. Like, that is just insane shit right there. I can't believe that crap. So, oh my God. Like, you guys play video games. You guys come here, you watch me play PlayerUnknown. Right? Do you feel like you wasted an hour or so of your time by watching that? I don't feel like I wasted the time playing and talking to you guys, even without super chat or anything else. Like, I don't feel like I wasted any time. I get to chat with you guys. We get to have a lot of fun, and I think that's pretty fucking cool. Kyle the Cuck, yeah. Where Puppers Go to Die says, I became addicted after smoking just one video game. That's right. That's fucking right. Oh my god. Kyle's a traditionalist, the same shit Lauren Southern tried to say. Yeah, I could see that. I'm just a guy. Yeah, I know who No Bullshit is. So, why? Am I really in my underwear, Tony? I'm in a pair of shorts. I'm in a pair of swim shorts because it's comfortable and it's warm in my office. So, Jesus, it's entertainment, Bruce Campbell. That's right. It's totally entertaining. It's completely stupid. Yeah, thanks a lot, Doubting Tommy. It's always fun to chat with everybody, man. So, we should ban sports because it's a gateway drug to video games. It's a gateway drug to fucking Madden or FIFA. That's for fucking surfing. Oh, fuck me. Thanks a lot for coming in, Joseph Stalin. I really appreciate it, man. I can't believe that shit. That's just like at no point even acknowledging that society at this point has been horrible to men, horrible to young men going into the workforce, horrible to young men going into academia, going into college. Like it's there's not a lot that's like, we do need to teach trade more than we need to teach going and getting an education, but we're not seeing a lot of that. Cybertron, awesome. I'm glad you're wearing swim shorts. I'm not going to show you my shorts. Oh, Jesus. Anthony here says, I have autism and computer games helped me as a kid, or help me learn and help me read that I'm doing maths that I struggled with as a kid. Totally. Video games help my hand-eye coordination for typing. I can type up words of 85 words a minute if I'm warmed up enough. If not, I can even get higher if I'm like really in the zone. And that's something I'm actually really proud of, that I can type that fast. Let's see. Andrew Manning says, played about 1,000 hours of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 combined. I got close to 2 months in Modern Warfare 3 in the last 5 years. But I'm about to get my law and economics degree. Addiction disapproved. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I haven't gotten any closer to naming my kid yet. We don't even know if it's a boy or girl. We don't find out till next week. I haven't seen his new video about feminist bullshit on mass shootings. I'm sorry. You're only wearing socks because it's hot as balls in Boise. I'm still not saying the 14 words. You know the rules, stupid spin. You want the 14 words, 50 USD. I'm claiming it this time because last time it was Canadian. You guys tried to pay me Monopoly money. I still did it because I love you. But if you want the 14 words, 50 USD. Doubting, I will do more game streams. This is more of an experience to see how it plays out. I'm going to be upgrading my motherboard here probably in a month or so. Be going from there. So, yeah, games are a stress ball, Jack. Exactly. He says here, when I failed my driving test, I came home and I ran people over in Mafia 3, immediately felt a lot better, passed with flying colors, and the second time I took it, games are a stress ball. Exactly. Am I going to raise my child genderless? No, because I'm not an asshole. Can we get a Heil Hitler for at least 1488 USD? If you want to throw it down there. Why the fuck is it that I always get that? It's always like, start saying really racist shit and then I'll pay you money. Like, I feel really horrible every time that comes up. Mr. Shadow, if you donate 500, will I shave my head? I will buzz my head with like straight buzz it. But I won't bick it because I've done that before. This is not something you want to see. Remodium, I'm going to be upgrading the motherboard to something that can better handle webcams. John Thunderbird, I'm going to be talking more about the movie stuff here coming next couple days. So let's jump into this next one here. Because I've got this one's, I think, a little bit. Let me just double check. It's not as long, but it's still a little bit long. We'll go through it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I think it'll be a good one. I think you guys are gonna rage at this one a little bit too, because it's kind of ridiculous. Let me just get this thing set up here. All right, we're gonna all right, jump over to this one. You guys can already see it, and I'm pretty sure raging will be happening here. All right, so let's do this one here, okay? You guys want to see the snaps? I did the snaps last time. I got to mark it on the audio where things are for when I cut it out. So there we go. Fuck shit, fuck caca, fuck. Put that in a fail compilation. You know what's funny? Real quick though, before I jump into this, there's not a lot of fail Mundane Matt videos, and I fuck up in videos, and I leave them in like most of the time. So if you come across them, you want to put together a failure video, I'd be okay with that. All right, let's do this. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Sorry, I'm in a mood now. So, right. Fundraising in 2017 seems to kind of be the bee's knees. Everyone is crowdfunding something, like Super Chat on my live streams. There's always some form of funding that goes on, and people out there like to use it for a multitude of reasons. What sucks about crowdfunding, though, is that oftentimes it's dictated heavily by the platform that you're on. PayPal won't let for certain things, and now neither will YouCaring, because YouCaring will not support lawsuits against Black Lives Matter, which is really fascinating when you start to think about it. So it says here that a personal injury lawyer is trying to raise money for her lawsuits against Black Lives Matter and its leaders on behalf of Baton Rouge police officers was rejected by YouCaring on Sunday. Now, I covered this yesterday about the one wounded Baton Rouge police officer filing lawsuits against Black Lives Matter and its leaders, especially DeRay McKesson. Interesting thing here, though, is I didn't know at the time that they were trying to crowdfund the money for the lawsuit. Now, I don't know if this is 100% connected. We will find out. But that I find that to be really interesting. It's like, why would a lawyer be trying to crowdfund a lawsuit against Black Lives Matter? It does seem a bit, it seems a little bit kind of, like a little bit out there. You never hear about this like in late night, personal injury lawyer commercials. Like, have you been hit by a car? Have you been struck by a bus? Were you caught trying to put your dick in the ventilation shaft of a fucking hot tub? You can sue and get money today. Asterisk, provided we can raise enough money via crowdfunding. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what's going on. So it says YouCaring is a free website, online fundraising source for people around the country and in Baton Rouge, including residents whose lives were devastated by floods last year or families who have expensive medical needs. It also supports various versions of local and national Black Lives Matter campaigns. But when lawyer Donna Grodner, who has filed 2 federal lawsuits on behalf of police against Black Lives Matter that target one of its leaders, DeRay McKesson, created a page to raise $20,000 for expenses, YouCaring took it down. Okay, so this is connected to the one I talked about yesterday. And again, in that article, it never mentioned anything about crowdfunding this lawsuit. Now, I'm not against suing BLM or suing DeRay McKesson. I made that clear in the last video. But trying to raise 20 G's to do it, that's tapping into some hardcore racism, in my opinion. That's trying to profit off of that. Because if you have a direct complaint against BLM, of which there are many to choose from, right? There are many valid complaints that are lawsuit worthy, and then you're trying to go and like tap it for some cash. Oh, I don't know. I don't think that's very good. Now, YouCaring says, in alignment with our mission, we removed this fundraiser because it was not within our community guidelines around promoting harmony. This comes from YouCaring Chief Marketing Officer Mali Lai. She's telling the NewsHour Weekend in an email, "We are not the right platform to air grievances or engage in contentious disputes over or controversial public opinion." I get that. I understand that they, as a company, they want to distance themselves. They want to back themselves away. They want to go, ooh, we're for people who want to raise money to get your dog surgery, but if it does support various versions of local and national Black Lives Matter campaigns, then that's a controversial opinion. So why is that allowed when this one isn't? And again, there are questions to be asked on the other side here. So, so then Grodner created a GoFundMe, and GoFundMe didn't return a request for comment. So clearly, when you fail one site, you jump over to another. And I know a lot of people on GoFundMe, especially in some of the YouTube shitlord side of things, have very much created stupid GoFundMes. I think there was one to like raise $200 or $100 to like buy a cake. I don't get it. People threw down the money. Clearly, I'm in the wrong goddamn business, but that's what it is. People have made that claim. Grodner has filed 2 lawsuits that accuse BLM and its leaders of causing the injuries of 2 police officers in separate incidences. The first lawsuit was filed on behalf of an unnamed officer who said he was hit by debris during a protest after local police, who are white, killed 37-year-old Alton Sterling, a black man, on July 5th of last year. That was a tough thing to watch, but looking at the footage from what I could tell, he had a gun, and it's entirely possible that he pulled it. You can disagree on that one or agree. It's entirely up to you. But in regards to Alton Sterling in that moment in time, he would have been a 3rd strike felon. He would have gone to jail for life. He was on probation, I believe, and he couldn't have a firearm. He had a firearm. So the likelihood of him that moment hitting him of everything could have been what it's going to be. That's, again, it's still tragic that it happens. Every shooting is tragic that it happens. But again, when it came to that, there's a lot of bullshit. Following Sterling's death, Black Lives Matter organized a Weekend of Rage campaign in line with the type of Take to the Streets rallies that movements have organized since its inception around 2012. I'd like to argue 2014. It's been almost 3 years. To rail against the killings of black people. Yeah, that's a fair way of describing what they do. And it's one of the, actually, funny thing too, 'cause the video I did yesterday about that, I got an email from a man who lives in Baton Rouge, and he was emailing me saying, like, when the floods hit last year, which was mentioned earlier in the article, when the floods hit last year, the community, black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever, they all came together to help get over the issue. And he says he was, and he identified as a black man. He said that that Black Lives Matter was nowhere to be found. That Black Lives Matter was nowhere to be found. That they weren't there to help the community. That they weren't there to prop people up when they needed it. They were there for their weekend of rage, essentially is what happened. And so, I get that. I get, like, why there's animosity growing towards the movement. They're not there to help people, help communities in need. They're there to organize and rally these weekend of rage scenarios that end up leaving businesses burning and owners of those businesses having to fight to defend their property because police are just not going anywhere near it because they're ordered to stand down. And that is so weird that it's allowed to happen. So again, I kind of understand why these lawsuits are taking place. So the lawsuit claims that Black Lives Matter and one of its leaders, DeRay McKesson, are responsible for the officer's injuries. Though McKesson is not accused of throwing anything, it says that Black Lives Matter activists have incited violence and do not try to calm the crowds, and that is true. But like I said in the video yesterday, as far as I know, DeRay he's like ancillary. He's no longer with BLM. He's not part of that, like that leadership process. The people who kind of co-founded it, they fucked off to very better paying gigs. It says here that the judge in the case is still deciding whether BLM can be charged as an entity. I don't know if you're going to be able to charge it as an entity. You might be able to charge each individual chapter as an entity, but not as a thing as a whole. I don't think that would happen. I think we would see lots of Weekend of Rage moments if that went out. Grodner filed a second lawsuit on Friday, but with 4 more leaders as defendants, including Alicia Garza, Netta Elzy, making a similar claim. And again, as far as I know, Netta fucked off a while ago. Like, she's not even involved with BLM anymore. The officer she is representing, also unnamed, was shot several days after the Weekend of Rage by a man from Kansas City who law enforcement said never attended any protests. That was the police officer shooting in Baton Rouge from last year. A First Amendment lawyer told the NewsHour Weekend on Sunday that Grodner's theory is bizarre, and it seems it may be an attempt to hunt for dirt within the movement rather than a legitimate legal claim. David Rowland, the director of litigation at the Freedom Center of Missouri, also said it followed the same principle used in Civil War-era law, saying, it's the same logic that gets applied to people of Muslim faith. If there's an act of terrorism, people say, if you don't come out and disavow this personally, then you are responsible. And that doesn't just apply itself to Muslims. It applies to everybody. All right, you'd be amazed. Me being in Gamergate, someone who was using the tag was a gigantic douchebag. And then you'd have, like, the fucking progressives coming out saying, like, why don't you denounce this person? We fucking do. We're one of the only groups that actively were like, no, this is not, fuck this guy. Everyone else is like, we don't want to get involved. We didn't do nothing. You know, like there's a lot of that goes on. But I get what they're trying to say. It's entirely possible that that this lawyer is trying to create a division within BLM and to get them to turn on each other. That's really not going to be very hard. You don't even need to use a lawsuit to do it. Just go to any of the chapters if they have any kind of like national meeting and just claim that one is more oppressed than the other, and there you go. Right? Once you engage in oppression Olympics, it just kills it. I'm serious. All right. So Roland feared that it was a shot across the bow designed to discourage dissent, possibly. Black Lives Matter and the people who are involved in it are engaged in civil disobedience because they perceive a fundamental wrong in our society that needs to be corrected. The best method that they know to employ is to engage in civil disobedience, and that is part of a long American tradition. But not a good tradition. And civil disobedience, again, is fine. But when you start destroying private and public property that you don't own because you're mad, you kind of lose the moral high ground here. And that, again, I think is what a lot of this boils down to. It's the moral high ground. And it's not like the organization is sticking around to pick up the pieces once they're done. They come in very much like a virus, get everyone inflamed, watch the destruction take place, and then fuck off back to their homes, waiting for the next one to go down. It's not a movement that is for the people. It's not for empowering the people. It's for profiting off of civil disobedience. And that is entirely possible what this lawsuit's going to expose, maybe. Grodner's GoFundMe page called the protesters militant, saying the money will help hold them responsible for the injuries they've caused, whether in whole or in part through its anti-police agenda. And again, this is America. They have every right to file a lawsuit in that regard. Every right. Whether or not it will go through, I have no idea. But looking at BLM for 3 years as I've looked at them, they have valid grievances in some cases, absolutely. But the fact that no one stands up and says, don't burn shit, don't break shit, or I think it was Milwaukee or Minnesota, I think it was like the sister of a guy who was shot, was like, you know, why are you burning down the neighborhood? Don't burn down the neighborhood. We need this shit. And then CNN cut it right there. But the next part of it says, go to the suburbs and start burning down white people shit. Right? Like that kind of incitement of violence. That's not free speech protected. And that's, again, where we are right now. So, in response to the questions about UCaring's decision in the GoFundMe page, Grodner told NewsHour Weekend in an email that both are for the same purpose, okay? But Lai said in an email that UCaring was drawing the line, finishing up here with, to exist to empower people and communities to rally positive financial, emotional, and social support. While different viewpoints are a part of life, you should make efforts to ensure that the content of your fundraiser does not promote discord. But can't that be said for any kind of instance? Like if individual Black Lives Matter chapters are organizing through this website, fundraising through this website in order to go to locations and then hold Weekend of Rages or anything similar where these kind of activities take place and these kind of destructive activities take place, then isn't UCaring kind of full of shit if they let them go on? Right? Because that's actively destructing something instead of trying to raise money for a lawsuit that could potentially save private businesses and people's lives from being destroyed because of these unchecked outrages that happen in this regard. It's one of those situations where you kind of like, I understand why UCaring drew the line, but from like an equality standpoint and even like an ethical standpoint, it's horseshit that they did. It's their business. They can do what they want. I don't really use I don't really use UCaring for anything. I think I've donated to some people's campaigns before, but I wish they would reconsider. And GoFundMe will probably also pull it. Let's be realistic on that one. GoFundMe will probably pull it simply because people will complain, and that's what happens now. You know, equality be damned. If you don't have the right opinion, clearly you're a fucking idiot. All right, so there's that one. That was a good one. That was a good one there. I like that. We was fundraisers and shit. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. What? Okay, brown coat. Brown coat. What is vintage profanity? I'm curious to know what that is. Hey, what's going on, Top Hats and Champagne? How are you, man? How's life in Australia? Arrow, I did not hear about the cop that shot two non-aggressive dogs, and that's not something I'm generally going to cover. So, any form of media as a stress relief, do you think that one day mainstream media will be irrelevant due to the popularity of AAA games coming out? I would say when it comes to enthusiast press in terms of gaming, they already are. But um, we're talking about this particular story right now. More like go fuck me, am I right? Yeah, that's right, Jack. Um, yeah, today civil disobedience seems to mean set fire to downtown. That's a pretty astute point, to be honest with you. That is a pretty astute point. It's one of those problems that arises from this. Do I think BLM will eventually be seen as as much contempt as Antifa? It's gonna take a while to get there. Like for that to happen, somebody in the name of Black Lives Matter would have to murder somebody, like on TV in front of witnesses, no refuting that point at all. Completely happened. That's essentially what it is. Otherwise, probably not. And even then, Antifa isn't even really seen as the bad guy in many of the cases. Antifa is mostly seen as like, you know, anti-fascists. Like the media is not portraying them as what they are, which are violent fascist sociopaths that are using this moment as a way to enact their own set of vigilantism and street violence. But they're still going after the right-leaning, you know, NRA people that are standing there peacefully and ain't doing shit and painting them as the bad guys. It's a big problem with corporate media here. It's one of those things that just totally fucking sucks. So so Stupidson says, until very recently in my life, BLM was always meant Bureau of Land Management, who tries to put out fires, not starting them. Yeah, that's very true. Forgot about the Bureau of Land Management. Oh, okay, brown coat. So you want to call someone a gobshite, a muckmouth, or Schwartzy? The fuck is Schwartzy? I'm curious about that one. BLM has obviously never seen the death count in Chicago. That's the thing. That's what the guy emailed me about. BLM doesn't care about the communities where these problems actually exist. They only care about these communities that have had these incidences involving black men and women that have been shot by cops, and then they want to rally as a result, no matter even if it's completely justified and the cops are like protecting somebody or defending themselves. Again, at this point, after 3 years, the shit just, you know, it's coming. So, Horson isn't a good outdated profanity. I totally agree. Who's worse, KKK or BLM? KKK. Come on, man. Like, not even a question. KKK hands down. KKK at this point is neutered. But if they were as empowered, I mean, I would say in some respects are becoming as empowered as BLM was in the early days. But the KKK is so far fucking worse. I don't like the KKK. But there is history to the KKK that's interesting. Like, you ever heard about like black KKK members? That's an odd one, but that has a lot to do with what happened like in the first iteration of the KKK. What it is now is most definitely not what it started out as entirely. So, historically KKK, currently BLM. Currently KKK ain't doing much of anything. So, so there's that. All right. So we've got, 207 people in here. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Okay. Question before I jump into this last one here. Are you guys enjoying this kind of live commentary? Is this good? Do you want to see more of this? There's a little bit of a delay in the video here. Compare Anita to BLM. I can't compare Anita to BLM, man. I can't. There's no way to compare Anita to BLM. That makes like no fucking sense. Put an end to buzzword lifestyle management. That's right. Yeah, no, see, this is no, wait, serial thriller, no more please, or no, comma, more please. I'm not going to say the fucking 14 words. Not going to happen, stupid sin. Okay, Top Hats and Champagne says, Yeah, nice to have you talking in the background whilst I'm working on my own stuff. 10 out of 10 word looker again. You know, man, I hear that a lot actually. People tell me all the time, they're like, man, I watch you like all the time in the background and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Why the fuck do I even show my goddamn face? What the fuck's up with that? And they're like, I don't even know. It's fucking stupid. Don't do it. And I'm all like, yeah, but like 47% of my views are from mobile devices. So if I don't, that's kind of dumb. Which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars? And why is it Battlestar Galactica? I don't know the Communist Internationale, but I do know like dun 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 dun. Like my best friend for a while was a self-proclaimed communist. He's not, right? But it's like the on paper communist theory. He was also like 19 and an idiot. But he used to roll up to my house like 2 a.m. blasting the communist fucking theme song. And like, I lived in like a rural area. So like you could hear music and you would hear this like thunderous crescendo of communist music barreling down the road at 2 a.m. And then he like speeds in my driveway and he's like, get in the car, motherfucker. We're gonna go get burritos. So then we go down to a taco shop still listening to the communist song. Or the anthem, Soviet Union anthem. The Russian anthem. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. You want me to talk about Adam Ruins Everything? I like Adam Ruins Everything. Like we follow each other on Twitter. And I saw him last September at a show in Portland, and he saw me and he recognized me. Before I said hi to him, he said, "Oh my God, hey Matt, how are you?" And I'm like, Adam Conover knows my name. I was so happy. I like Adam Conover quite a bit. So there's that. All right, let's take a quick look at some stuff here, and I'm just checking Twitter real quick. All right. So I think we'll do the last video I've got, or the last story I've got here, and it's an interesting one. Again, you guys are getting like a live view as to how I do things. You guys are getting a live look as to how I end up, handling my business, how I do my shit, right? Like I can do this stuff in one go. If you notice, there's no fuck ups. Like 9 out of 10 videos have no fuck ups in them, and that's just kind of how I do things. I'm really good at going at it. These particular stories might have been a little bit longer than I had anticipated. I wanted some smaller stuff to talk about, but it's Sunday night at 10 p.m. I've already covered all the hot news stories over the week, so there's not much else to talk about. Hopefully tomorrow will be some better shit, but that's just kind of the way it is. So let us jump over to this one, last one here, and gonna go from there. Let me just get myself a drink, simply because I'm parched. It's warm. I've been talking for an hour. All right. So, okay. Gotta do the snaps. It's all about the snaps. Maracas. Maraca. Sorry, doing this in front of an audience is cracking me up because I feel like I can be more playful with it. So my energy level is really elevated, and it's not the cheesecake I had earlier. It's literally you guys. So I hope you guys are having fun. Remember, we're gonna look at all this stuff here. All right, so let's just bring it down and do it. We're gonna do it live, like the other ones. Okay. You know what always it cracks me up is the fact that I fucked that one up. I gotta start over again. See, start over. This is how it happens when it's live. See, because this kind of story, and I'll tell you guys why. This kind of story, I'm trying to think of like what is a good opening for this story. What is a good opening for this? What is a good like? How do I, because I like to start off by saying like, hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the MundaneMatt Show. And then it's I'll probably do that here just to kind of like make it a little bit easier, because the last two I didn't. Again, work in progress. All right, professional face. I am a journalist. No one believes that. No one, not even I believe that shit. I'm not a journalist. I'm a dude that talks about shit I find on the fucking internet. Okay. Professional. Sorry, no. Breaking character. Okay. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the MundaneMatt channel. And you know what's great? Police body cam footage. No, it really is good. We need more of it. Not only does it give us an unblinking eye account of what transpires in police stops or shootings or any situation where a cop needs to have their behavior looked at by a unbiased third party after the fact, it also protects people's lives. Because, and here's the reason why it protects people's lives. If a person is engaged with a police officer, okay, and it's getting heated, that person can then see that they're on camera, and that actually gets them to act and behave in a way that's going to be more easy. Well, I guess you could say easier to work with. Also, if a cop knows that they're being recorded, they're not going to fuck around. It's actually better for everybody involved, taxpayers especially, that cops wear body cams all the time. It also stops people from pulling this kind of shit, where a girl goes on social media and says that I was sexually assaulted by police, so the chief releases the body cam. This is gonna end up being one of my favorite absolute fuck you stories that is gonna come out of anything this year. I guarantee it. Because it's this kind of shit. Like, there's like that video of that girl that's like, I'm some kind of citizen. I don't have to, like a free citizen. I don't have to listen to your constitution. You know the one I'm talking about there. That video. This is what it feels like. That's kind of what it feels like here. All right. So Burlington, Vermont, 18-year-old Logan Huisman, whatever, took to social media after her arrest, claiming that the Burlington police sexually assaulted her. She even showed off bruises on her arms as proof. In response, Chief Brandon Del Pozo released the body cam footage, which showed an impaired Huisman acting disorderly, assaulting police officers, and more. Man, that is pussy past denied, straight up. That's just pussy past denied like a motherfucker right there. So she's sitting there going like, I was used by the cops, sexually assaulted me, but I got the bruises right there. And cops are like, what? Wait, huh? None of that even happened, right? And then they just released the body cam footage to show that she was the cunt. And that is why I love body cam footage. Okay, so not only that, but Chief Brandon Del Pozo even responded directly to the girl's Facebook post, prompting a wave of outrage at the girl's behavior, which resulted in her deleting the post. She should probably also delete her account and never post ever again. But to be fair, she's 18 and an idiot, but she still has a long time left to grow out of being an idiot. And hopefully, through shame and guilt, she'll understand that crying wolf over sexual assault is no. You don't do that shit. You just don't do that shit, because fuck that shit. So the ACLU is not happy that the chief released facts about the case in order to counter lies spread by her, accusing him of using facts to shut down conversations. Oh my shit. I meant to throw that. That just made me mad. I reached for the first thing I was going to throw it. It's my bottle of water. The ACLU is not... Okay. There's a phrase many of us on YouTube like to use, and then people on the internet in general like to use. It's facts over feelings, right? Feels over reals. The ACLU is mad that an 18-year-old girl was shut down from false sexual assault claims by the releasing of the body cam footage, and the chief of police basically going like, you're an idiot, stop it. They're mad that the chief of police stood up to stop these kind of allegations from spreading wider than they needed to be at all, which was like ever, they didn't need to go anywhere. And they're mad because it shut down conversations. What conversation? No, I mean like that legitimately. What conversation are they supposed to have when a girl's out there basically screaming, rape, Rape! Rape! You see my arms? They got bruises. They got bruises. Rape! And then the cop's like, I'm a Newton, bitte. No. Sit down, shut up, and stop this fucking nonsense. Because this girl knows. This 18-year-old Logan Huisman, she fucking knows. Husband. I don't know how to pronounce her goddamn. It doesn't fucking matter. She knows precisely what she's doing. She knew precisely what she was up to when she made those claims. Because she sees this shit all the time. She knows for a fact that if you go out there and you make that claim, you fucking ring that bell, you yell that magical 4-letter R word, all right? Not runt, but rape. You throw that out there, and people, they react. Because that's a trigger word for a lot of people. They react at that shit. They very much are mad about that because it's something that is one of the worst things you could do to somebody else. And we live in an age where false accusations are coming out probably more frequently than actual accusations. And all it does is it hurts any actual victim from coming forward. But the fact that the ACLU, who I actually somewhat defended in my videos yesterday, it came out and they're upset because it shuts down the conversation about what? You fucking ignorant cunts. About what? What does it shut down? Nothing. But I gotta get off that. I gotta get done the story. Oh my God. Okay. So they have a response. This ought to be good. There's a fine line between engaging the community, which is something we want our law enforcement officers to do, and doing what some might see as trying to shut down conversations. This coming from Jay Diaz, an attorney for the American Civil Liberties Union of Vermont, according to Katie Jickling with 7 Days. Affirmatively posting on a citizen's Facebook page, especially in a sensitive situation, seems fairly inappropriate and would be understandably chilling. Allow me to retort. Are you fucking kidding me with this nonsense? She's out there making false claims. You have the evidence to shut down those false claims, right? What are they supposed to do? They're shutting it down. They're trying to, if anything, the chief of police is very much trying to send a message, teach her a lesson. Because what they could do is they could sit there and say, we have video footage of you assaulting an officer. That's a felony. Your ass is going to jail for a long time. But instead, they're shutting down her going out there and spreading the false narrative that an officer in Burlington, Vermont, sexually assaulted a young 18-year-old blonde woman. Like, she knows what she's doing, and the ACLU is like, she didn't do nothing. I mean, she did, but like, what's it to you to say she did? What's it to you? Fuck you, Jay Diaz. Seriously, you're like the worst goddamn attorney ever. You shutting down. Oh my God, I want that. I just, whenever you pass of natural causes, hopefully many years from now, I want that on your tombstone. Here lies Jay Diaz, former ACLU attorney, shutting down conversations in hell, bitch! Exclamation point. But this isn't the first time that Chief DePozo had responded to police haters on social media and created controversy. I see nothing wrong with that. He can still respond. He has learned that people who post anti-police statements on a public forum, such as their open Facebook or Twitter pages, tend to become very uncomfortable when engaged directly, as most people do in these situations. When former city council Haik Bedrosan, I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, posted to social media that the department's new badge design belongs on a robot soldier in a dystopian future police state, this chief respectfully responded in a private message. Okay, so he didn't come out there and publicly call the guy an idiot, but he responded in private to call the guy an idiot. Writing it off is your pejorative and your opinion, but you should also take seriously the months of careful work a lot of people put into it. They were not RoboCops, but nearly all born Vermonters who have a deep affinity for the city and its people, right? I mean, that is a valid response from this guy. That is a valid response. When you got a city councilor coming out saying, oh, the new police design, badge design looks like it's from a dystopian were they watching Hunger Games? Or like Allegiant? Or any of those other dystopian young adult novels that were popular for a hot minute from 2017 or 2012 to now? Because I guarantee you that was going on there. I guarantee that. But seriously. Okay, so the city councilman said he was shocked by the intimidation in the message. Does any of that come across as intimidating? Does any of that come across as intimidating? No. I mean, it's okay. You're already saying no. I know that, but I'll wait for a second to let that sink into anyone out there thinking yes, because the answer is no. It doesn't come across as intimidating. How would this guy sitting there saying, like, writing it off as your pejorative and your opinion, but you should also take seriously the months of careful work that a lot of people put into it, and that these people were nearly all born Vermonters and have a deep affinity for the city and its police. So people who are born in that state, born in that city, and care deeply for it, put time and effort into designing something. And the guy was like, listen, you can have your opinion, but maybe don't be a cunt about it, you know? And then the guy's like, oh, I was intimidated, right? And then even saying, blocking the chief and saying, I remain intimidated by Brandon DePozo to this day. Wow. On June 22nd, the date of Logan Huisman's arrest, officers located a group of unconscious teens in a running car at a parking lot at a Cumberland Farms on Pine Street. Officers worked to rouse the teens who were passed out next to marijuana and alcohol. During the 90-minute ordeal, Huisman demanded the officers pay her $80 for her marijuana bong. Marijuana bong? Fucking normie. Whoever wrote this article is a normie. Oh, it's on Blue Lives Matter, so it's normie. Threatened suicide, performed cartwheels, destroyed paperwork, reached into her waistband, and simulated producing a gun with her hand, pointing it at officers, screaming at officers, resisted arrest, and assaulted officers. She's a peach. She's a winner. She's probably prom queen. Oh my God. Right? Like, you gotta actually give it to the cops. They're just like, they found 4 teens passed out in the car next to fucking pot and alcohol. And then she's all like doing all this shit. They should have just tased her ass. It would have knocked her ass down. No, but they let her, they had the patience. They had some serious patience. You actually have to give them credit there. If I had a taser and she was doing that, I just probably would have zapped her once and knocked her down. Like, you stop it. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Anyway, she was ultimately arrested and charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and simple assault on a law enforcement officer, as she should. After her release, she claimed on social media that police touched her inappropriately and posted pictures of her bruised arms, saying, I would consider that sexual assault, especially coming from authority. Someone touching your arms while they're trying to arrest you is not considered sexual. Do people just not understand words anymore? Is that what's happening here? Because I feel like that's what's happening. And then saying, later she claimed that the post is meant to be a wake-up call on police misconduct, indicated that she had still failed to take responsibility for the situation, even though she now says she regrets making the post. Yeah, no shit, she regrets making the post. She got called out with actual footage of her behavior. When you are held a mirror of who you are and what you have done, oftentimes you will reflect greatly on things that you have said and done in the past as a way to make you work towards being a better person. This is her drunken stone and being an absolute just of a person, and then getting that video in her face like, yeah, you were kind of being a bitch that night. Now, her father saw the footage, and he's siding with the cop, saying she was resisting arrest and she had to be forcefully put in the cop car. The police showed more patience than I would have. And I think a lot of dads out there are thinking the same thing here. And again, you have to give it up to the cops here. They showed restraint. They could have put her down. Not kill her, but again, tasing. Or maced her or something or another. They could have done all that, but they knew she was a drunk and high 18-year-old and she was just mouthing off. As for the chief, he says that he's done posting directly on people's social media pages, and future releases would come out from the department's pages. All right, I guess that's fine. That's pretty funny to me. I'm not going to play the video, but the look on her face says enough right there. That is a person who I hope does not forget this moment in time. I remember when I was 16 and I got busted for minor in possession and technically trespassing and technically breaking and entering, but they only really got me on minor in possession because I was drinking alcohol. And it's a moment I look back on and I reflect on because I was stupid. I was stupid. I didn't think it through properly, and I got caught and I had to go deal with some stuff, you know, and there was that. I had to pay for my crime. I had to be punished for my actions, and I never did it again. I never got caught again. That's what you have to do. But when I look at a person like this, and I look at this particular lady acting in this particular fashion, I just like, the cop showed restraint. And I'm hoping more people see this, because these kind of allegations get thrown around wildly in our community, in our society these days. And oftentimes they're never given the gravity they deserve when dealing with the punishment of these crimes. Now, it's not that she went out there and she was talking about like police brutality. She used the term sexual assault, knowing what kind of reaction it would get. She was provoking the police, and the police chief responded with basically a fuck you, and he dropped the mic. And then the ACLU is mad at him for that. That dude is doing her a solid service. Yeah, she's in trouble, but now she's being reminded publicly of what she did. And that is a good thing, because maybe other people can see it and they can also realize, yeah, if I'm surrounded by cops and I'm drunk and I'm high, maybe I won't be a giant cunt. All right. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. Oh my God. Carrie M says, my daughter wouldn't see the light of day again until she's 30. If I saw a video of her doing dumb shit like that, can't even imagine what her father will do. Yeah, he's like, the cops had more fucking patience. As her eyes thing. Oh yeah, I'm glad you like the show, man. Thank you very much. Holy shit. Oh my God. How about starting a discussion on false rape accusations? Toothless 420. Absolutely. Start a discussion on false rape accusations. That's the way to go about it. That's how you handle this shit. You do this because that's where the conversation should go. She made the fucking claim, and yet she's being treated with kid gloves by the ACLU. They're removing any and all responsibility, personal responsibility from her, from that shit. Yeah, props to her dad for siding with the cops and shit. ACLU equal cucks. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. Here, if you want to see the video, I'm gonna post it in the chat. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Archaic and Guardian Dark Angel, for the super chats. I appreciate that. If you guys like the show, toss down. Yeah, we got 223 people watching right now. It's fucking fantastic. John David, I did hear about Review Tech USA's flood. That is unfortunate. That's very sad that happened. I worry about that too, given the fact that I'm out in the forest. You know, everything's like up and shit. So I can make sure not to be hurt by nothing. So we definitely, yeah, no, that's horrible. I hate it when YouTubers lose any kind of gear. So, hey, Jeffrey Morgan. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Hans Schnitzel says, you're wrong, Matt. All allegations are true. All right, Jeeves. I'll see you later, man. Have yourself a good one. Yeah, the rape on campus, the University of Virginia, Jackie, Rolling Stone, all that shit. How am I really news? John Thunderbird. Tony DeFranco, I have seen the new Spider-Man movie. Review of it is on 3 Buck Theater. Oh, Jack, thank you so much. See, he says, you, sir, are highly entertaining, but you know that already. I do know that I know that I'm awesome. Am I happy with my move? Oh yeah, Esker. I don't like the fact that I'm like so far away from everything. Like I have to drive everywhere. Like I can't even walk to the store. It's like 4 miles away to get to the nearest store. So that part sucks. And I'm putting a lot more miles on my car, but it's peaceful. Like this morning, I woke up this morning, I fed my cats, I gave my cats a diabetic shot. My girlfriend makes breakfast, we're sitting down to watch some TV, and then this deer just like walks through my backyard, right? Just walks through my yard, starts eating my fucking grass and shit, which is fine with me because I have a lot of grass. But I swear to God, if that fucking deer goes near my goddamn wild blackberries, I'm pissed. So yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. Have I seen the CNN meme compilations? I have. Those are pretty good. Have I noticed that many SJW leaders are women? MCAT, I have. Yeah. It's not hard for men cannot be SJW leaders for long because they end up getting busted for trying to fuck the feminists. It's pretty funny. Hunt the deer. If it gets bad enough in the winter, I might. So, Cypher, we get coyotes here too, but the deer come out in the morning and the daytime. So coyotes are coming out at night. So my cats are inside. So and I should get a rusted old beater as a daily driver. When is deer season up my way? I don't know, man. I have to look into that shit. My neighbor fires off guns. I'm pretty positive that if there was in fact a deer season, he probably would shoot the deer on the yard. I like to cherry pick. I have a cherry tree actually, so yes, I like to cherry pick. Come to West Virginia sometimes. The closest Walmart's an hour away from you. Jesus Christ, buddy. When I lived in San Diego, there were 30 Walmarts in San Diego County. You couldn't drive more than 10 minutes without coming into another one. I don't understand how in West Virginia, which is near like the epicenter of the company, would have so far apart. Am I going to be hunting teal deer? No. I wouldn't mind if teal deer got his ass out to VidCon. That'd be pretty cool. So 30 Walmarts, welcome to USA. No, Green Yoshi, 30 Walmarts in the San Diego County area. All right, it's a big area. There's like 3 million people, but that's a lot of fucking Walmarts. My favorite game so far this year is Horizon Zero Dawn. I've been playing through that right now. I almost streamed that tonight instead of trying this out. But I wanted to give this a shot, and I think it turned out pretty good. Have I ever been to Vegas? Yeah, a couple times. I was in Vegas actually a year ago at the end of this month. I'm never going back to Vegas in the summertime, though. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm never going to go back. Yeah, teal deer wouldn't be caught dead with mug community. Exactly. Exactly. Jesus Christ, that was so lame. Have I ever played Dark Souls? No, I've never played Dark Souls. I own Dark Souls 1. I've just never played it. Teal deer won't come to VidCon. He hates the fact that you guys are friends. Having friends no longer makes you skeptics. Yeah, I know, man. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Walmart dominates retailers in Canada. It killed Target. Yeah, it's not hard to kill Target. There's like closer. There are more Targets in my area than. No. There's the same. No, there's equal amount of Walmarts and Targets in the area. Yeah. Do I watch Razor Fist? Absolutely. I love Razor Fist. I don't agree with him on everything, but I just love his style, and I like what he does. Am I going any Comic-Cons this year? I actually am leaving for San Diego Comic-Con in about 9 days. I'll be down in California. So, hey, what's going on, Morley Gray? The fuck is going on tonight? I just did my videos for tomorrow. So, I went through and did my content. For the most part, I'll have to put in an intro on the first 2 videos and everything else. Have I ever met Teal Deer? No. He lives UK. I live in West Coast. So do I watch Roaming Millennial? No, I don't actually. I know who she is. I've seen her content. I just don't really watch it. So have I ever watched the Patriarchy / Renaissance Men? Nope. Who's a bigger whiner in the skeptic community? Thunderfoot or Teal Deer? Probably Teal Deer, because Thunderfoot's no longer in the skeptic community. Because people were laughing at things he didn't like. Even though really it was laughing at the person who committed a crime, not the victim. You live south of Huntington Beach, or Huntington, that has 2 Walmarts. It sucks with no SJWs. Ooh, pardon. There's I live like a few miles away from Evergreen State College, so there are SJWs here. Fry Guy, the weather is fantastic. Fucking fantastic out here. How about Armored Skeptic versus Teal Deer? Greg is a tall motherfucker. I've seen him in person. He is a tall person. Teal Deer, I just vision as like a very kind of like manlet. Like Chris Ray gun size. And Chris is short. How do we defeat the SJWs in a reasonable way? Rational, here's how you beat SJWs in a reasonable way. Challenge their ideas. Right? And if they fail to show up, if they fail to debate, remind them that if they don't back up their ideas, if they fail to show up, they automatically lose. It's going to take time and patience, because people like to react to things that they view to be socially unjust that aren't always socially unjust. And that's one of the issues that you come across with this kind of nonsense is they operate on feelings over reality. They operate on the mindset that if they feel something, it must inherently be true. Now, it might be true to them, but your truth does not always align with the factual truth. And facts always win in these cases, in some respects. In some respects. Because I've seen, you know, stuff from like the Daily Stormer and like other people, like was it Rage After Storm and a few other people that are like these race realists now, because that debate's coming up, and oh god, that gives me a fucking headache. That gives me a headache. But the race realists, they'll say like we have facts on our side, and the facts that they have don't necessarily. It's not like correlation equals causation, but they're going to argue that it is. And then again, when you are an anti-SJW, you sometimes run along the same mindset where you have facts to back something up in terms of statistics, but doesn't always equal causation, and it requires very much a point-for-point breakdown in very specific breakdowns. So it's kind of tough. Doable, but tough. Have I ever wanted to go to Evergreen and interview people? Morally Great, I do intend to, actually. I'm gonna go down there with my Osmo and be like, I'm a journalist. Let me talk to you about what happened here a few months ago, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm gonna do. What's my thoughts on the rise of 1433? I don't know what is 1433. I don't know what that is. So appealing to the more reasonable can help too, horror punks. Yeah, if Lacey can be red pilled. See, Lacey hasn't been red pilled though. That's the thing. Lacey is I think accepting of the pill, but she hasn't been pilled. And that's not a bad thing. She can retain her identity and still talk with people and engage in debate. Because there are certain things I would argue that Lacey's probably correct on that maybe other anti-SJWs aren't correct on. All right? I'm not saying I know what they are specifically, but it goes both ways. We're not all knowing of everything. And there are people out there that have had different experiences that might give different perspectives on something. And it has to be, if they're willing to be open to discussion, then we have to be willing to be open to discussion. That's what's going on. Do I think this SJW stuff or BLM stuff will ever end? I don't know. If I'm being honest, I don't fucking know. Yeah, Lacey still basically believes the same stuff, which is true. But that's her journey, man. But she's talking with people. And she's willing to discuss things. And she's willing to challenge her own opinion. And we need to be willing to do the same ourselves. Because if not, then we are not this. Then we're no better than those we rally against. You know, it's like when Anita was talking on that panel about all the shit that's happened to her. My immediate thought was, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. And like maybe we can come together on this thing. It just didn't happen. Actually, guys, holy shit, I'll be right back. I totally forgot something. Well, I also do need to clean the kitty litter. Again? Oh, is it just the undershirts? I'm not against that, but okay. Oh, it's got to be the kitty litter then. Like I was gonna clean it today. If it's okay, so it's every other day then. All right. Fuck. Forgot that was in there. That's frozen and stuff. So. Okay. Well, I'll sit it in here. That way I can whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it! What the fuck, cat? Jesus Christ. There we go. I forgot that I had left a drink in the freezer, and I didn't want it to explode. And then I found out that my older cat, shit on some stuff. So that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought I turned the mic off. That's fine. God damn. No, that cat got like it's. I haven't cleaned the kitty litter today, and I should have done it today. Like it's just yeah. So, all right. Actually, on that note, I should probably take off because I got to go take care of all that stuff. But we'll be back tomorrow night. I'm glad you guys liked the whole scenario with doing the videos. Hopefully they turned out well. I haven't seen them. I was recording them individually through OBS, but there might have been like some hiccups here and there, so we'll figure it out. But no, Esker, I'm never gonna do a video with my girlfriend. She doesn't want to be on. So yeah, but I'll be back tomorrow night, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Look for the videos if you came late and you want to see what was covered tomorrow at 12, 1, and 2 p.m. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard. Peace out.